Welcome to Riverbottom. I hope you like mud. And, oh, here's your first tavern. Bit of a fixer-upper, it seems. There's much to do before opening the doors. But where to start? First things first, teaching you how to teach yourself. A checklist on the right side of your screen would certainly be handy. Hovering your cursor over things like checklists can bring up helpful tooltips. Why don't you try it? Phenomenal work! You mastered tooltips, and thus the secret to mastering the whole game. Now, why not use the camera controls to take a look around? Splendid observing. One could say that makes you quite the looker. If this was a story about a garbage dump, you'd be set. But that rubble may deter tavern patrons. Clean it up, won't you? Excellent. That dangerous unfinished floor underneath has a certain rustic charm, but we can do better. Build a tap room. Onwards! The tap room is ready. But you're missing a tap. Select it in the build menu, but don't place it yet. Is that the angle you want? Try rotating it a bit before placing it. Nice to see things from all angles, isn't it? Now, place that tap wherever you like. People like a place to lean while they order. A bar counter is optimal. Let's build one. Good. Of course, tavern keeping isn't all gossip and picking furniture. There's hard work to be done as well. Let's just hire someone to... Really? Based on those qualifications? Are they a friend of yours? Never mind, it's time to buy drinks. The travelling merchant will be here soon. Click on him when he arrives. You can hurry him along with the game's speed controls if you like. Excited to tap that barrel? Select the tap you installed to assign your new beverage to it. Bars are great for a quick drink, but tables allow patrons to settle in and stay a while. Try building one. It's a bit plain. why don't I show you the design mode? Decorating your tavern truly makes it your own. Even a humble table becomes an empty canvas ready to transform. You might decorate it with something simple, perhaps place a centerpiece. But why stop there? You can change and tweak every element according to your mood. Ooh, feeling romantic? And you needn't stop at simply decorating. You can design anything you can imagine, piece by piece. Go wild! For now, let's try something simple. Select a piece from the design mode and combine it with the table. You'll have hundreds of options as a Tavern Keeper, but let's start with 3. That's an interesting choice. Well, there's no accounting for taste. That's enough decorating for now. You've accomplished quite a bit. Perhaps you should save your progress? Did it save properly? I can't see. Hold on, I'll scoop my candle a little closer to the storybook. Oh! I caught the page on fire! The story is burning! Quick, load your save file! Look, everything is fine again. No need to reload for every little fire. I was just having a bit of fun. Narrator humour, you see. One last thing, the stories. A glowing golden book means someone or something has a tale to tell. See, there's one. Click on your tap, won't you? What sort of narrator would I be without a storybook? This is mine. It's a bit magic, you see. The stories inside are your stories, and they follow your choices. There will be quite a lot of stories to tell, all centered in your tavern. You'll find them as little books hovering above characters, items, or locations. Would you like to see how they work? As you can see, your choices progress the story. Simple. Skill choices, however, are a little more complex. The results are determined by your character skills, the difficulty, and a bit of luck. The story continues whether you succeed or fail, and failing is just as fun, sometimes more so. Still, I know even a fun failure can feel like a failure. Don't worry, you can retry spins if you don't like the result, but do be sparing with those respins. If too many build up, we may run into trouble. Well, the issue is with causality, altering... Wait a second. Using your wits to ply me for more information, eh? Yes, okay, you got me. There is more to it. Let me explain. Nothing truly bad will happen to you if you fail a spin. More or less. It depends on your definition of bad. Anyway, don't worry about it. But respins resist the natural course of events, and tinkering with cause and effect can cause things to go a little pear-shaped. No need to go into it now. You'll have to wait and see. That's choosing chaos for you. Feel free to explore stories and go with your gut. There are no wrong or right answers. There's only the path you choose. I can't wait. To make skill rolls, you will, of course, need skills. I wouldn't dream of choosing those for you. It's up to you to decide what best represents your strengths. Quickness of wit or hands, depth of knowledge, or simply charm. All settled? Well, you know you best. We'll see how that plays out along the way. That's the end of my little tutorial. But don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Where would a story be without a narrator? Now, open those doors. You have a tavern to run. Now wait for a patron and your staffer will tend to them. It's smooth sailing from here, relatively. Closing time. Off hours are a good opportunity to manage rooms and furnishings, or you could simply speed up the clock. The dawn of a fresh day. The opportunities are endless, so long as no one comes to throw a wrench in the works. A severe-looking human woman in a pressed suit enters your tavern. She sweeps her gaze across the tap room and approaches the bar with confident, efficient strides. How rustic! 1 mug of your finest beverage. You slide the mug across the counter and hold out your hand for payment. The woman presses a crisply folded sheet of paper into it instead. My name is Dorothy Chadius, guild representative. You have been served. Notice of official censure by the guild for operating an unlicensed tavern. Did you think you wouldn't be caught? We saw your deed filed. It's a matter of public record. She taps the seal on the folded document. It's all in here. The rules, your transgressions, and the consequences. The woman slaps a badge down on the countertop with a tight, proud smile. I'm a representative of the Tavern Keepers Guild. We oversee all the taverns in the land. She lifts her chin, gazing reverently into the distance. People rely on taverns to unwind and socialize under the professional care of a guild-certified tavern keeper. But you, her brow furrows, you are not certified. I have registered you as a guild applicant. The first step to move your application forward is to earn a 1-star ranking for your tavern. She drops a large, crisply folded map on the counter. This map shows the locations of reputable distributors of food and drink. Take this as well. She places a beautiful crystal bottle on the table beside the map. It's filled with golden, frothy liquid. She gestures to the bottle. This is a tavern elemental, a provisional advisor of a sort. She's agreed to work with you full-time if your membership is approved. A small figure forms in the swirling liquid and waves cheerfully at you. They know everything there is to know about the business. This one's name is Hops, I believe. Dorothy seems slightly flustered by your genuine pleasure. The figure in the bottle beams a sweet smile at you and nods. Yes, well, I'm sure you'll enjoy one another. She leans down to the level of the bottle and fixes the little elemental inside with a piercing stare. It stares back, striking a fair imitation of Dorothy's rigid posture. They're chatty types, elementals, but worth listening to. Dorothy favors you with another tight smile and reaches out to shake your hand. Her grip is firm and dry, like her personality. Best of luck to you in the application process. Attain a 1-star rating, and we'll be in touch. As she strides away, it occurs to you that she never paid for her drink. On the counter, Hops swirls around in her bottle to give you a big thumbs up. And so the long arm of bureaucracy has found you even in the depths of the swamp. At least you've made a friend.
I haven't advised anyone in ages. This'll be fun. I noticed we were almost out of drinks and ordered a keg for fast delivery. On me.
Okay.
Our drinks have earned a 1-star rating.
A scruffy young man with a friendly face and ink-stained hands peers around the taproom. He scratches some notes on a scroll with a tattered quill, then sidles up to the bar and flashes an ingratiating smile. Hello! Would you happen to be the owner of this tavern? The name's Jefferson, ace reporter. I'm looking for front-page material for our next Gazette, and I was hoping to ask you about your tavern. On the record, of course. Really? A wave of relief washes over his face, but he squashes it quickly. That is to say, I knew I'd get the scoop. Let's see here. He chews the tip of his quill and scans over his scroll with a furrowed brow. Right. As everybody knows, this tavern has been vacant ever since the previous owner sank in a freak quicksand accident years ago. How do you come to own the place? I like it. That adds a bit of intrigue to the piece. The readers will be eager to see if that goes awry in unsettling and ironic ways. Did this mysterious stranger have glowing eyes? No, don't tell me. Jefferson scribbles rapidly. The important thing is you've got the doors open. What's your business strategy going forward? Jefferson thumps a fist on the bar. Darn right! You and me, we're two of a kind, my friend. They might say you're out of your depth, Jefferson, and a swamp can never support a daily periodical, Jefferson, but we know better. Apparently, having exhausted his line of questioning, he rolls the parchment closed. Well, that's all I have. Thanks for your time. I'll be off. This story isn't going to write itself. That's the job of an ace reporter. Jefferson stuffs the scroll into his jerkin, dramatically raising his quill and waving it above his head. To the presses! A 1-star rating. Already you're rising in the world. I'm sure the guild doesn't give those out to just anybody.
We should find a variety of shops on the map. They can deliver what we need.
Becoming stuck in the gears of the guild's protocol machine isn't all bad. A little extra gold in your purse can take you a long way.
We're fresh out of gold. We need to earn more soon.
Not the finest cuisine, but it's a start, and it keeps the novice adventurers busy. Order up.
Now we wait for an order. Hope everyone is hungry.
Well, now your story is out there. People across the land may be reading all about you as we speak. Exciting. Intrusive. As your tavern grows, so must your payroll. With the second employee, your business has evolved from a dubious shack to a reputable service establishment. Seems we're in for a rainy night.
Be careful when taking out loans. The interest can really pile up if you aren't mindful.
What have we here? A tavern of this caliber must have the tastiest brews in Riverbottom. A stout man in a stained apron stomps up to the bar. His bushy grey eyebrows obscure his eyes, but do nothing to soften the voice reverberating from his broad-barreled chest. He seems human, but you'd swear from his stride that he has some dwarf in his lineage somewhere. It's a great pleasure to meet you. The name's... His brow furrows. Joe. The name's Joe. Joe Town Guy. It surely was last time I checked. He chortles good-naturedly, laughing it off, but surreptitiously wipes a bit of sweat from his brow. Yes, indeed. The name is Joe Townman, as sure as swamp rats are damp. That isn't important, though. What's important is your selection of beverages. Yes. Joe licks his lips as he surveys your tap setup. He's only a head and a half taller than the bar itself, so he gets a good close look. I'll have a mug of whatever you have on the tap, please and thank you. You fill a mug and slide it across the bar. He takes a deep swig, then promptly chokes and spits it across the surface of the bar. Bad? No, it isn't bad. It's downright disgusting. And in a classy place like this, I can hardly believe it. Mr. Town Guy shakes his head, eyebrows swaying. But I don't blame you. I blame that merchant in his little boat. If only there was somewhere nearby you could go to buy proper drinks. He reaches up very slowly and slides a map onto the countertop. Somewhere that won the Golden Toad Award 7 years running. Actually... Joe absently takes a sip of his drink and smacks his lips thoughtfully. You notice he doesn't spit it out. By crockery! How could I ever forget Moss Barrel Brewery? Joe Moss Barrel brews the finest drinks in Riverbottom, or my name isn't Tom Joe Guy. Yes, but where... Oh, what's this? Joe blinks down at the bar with exaggerated nonchalance. He scoots the map closer to you, carefully turning it so you can see it right side up. A map to Moss Barrel Brewery! You could go try their brews for your next bulk order. I hear Joe Moss Barrel looks a lot like me, so don't be alarmed when you see me there. I mean, him. You take the map. Joe looks mighty proud of himself. Hopefully his brews are better than his marketing strategy.
Our food has earned a 1-star rating. Good news, a letter from the guild. Do you think they said anything about me?
It took some doing, but you have all the balls in the air now. It's simply a matter of juggling them from here out. You've proven your worth to the guild. Better keep enough gold on hand to pay your dues when Dorothy arrives. Dorothy sweeps into the tavern with the same appraising air she displayed on her first visit. The amenities which meet her approval receive a nod so small as to be barely noticeable. You count 3. When she spots you, she graces you with one last tip of her head. Well, that's something. Sterling work. The tavern is coming along nicely. So nicely, in fact, that you must certainly have raised enough to pay your guild dues, as well as a repayment of the funds you were sent to build your kitchen. You hand over the gold in a single large sack. She juggles it in her hand briefly, listening to the sound, then nods. That will do. Consider your guild dues and debts paid in full. All that remains in the membership process is for you to pass the bar. An astute question. The Tavern Keeper's Guild has a very high bar, literally. It's high enough for giants to drink at. We named the application test after it because we hide the exam binder on top where applicants can't reach it. She produces a notepad. I have selected 3 questions at random from that binder. Are you ready to begin? Superb. It's all very simple, really. You will answer 3 questions about the nature of taverns and how they run. If you pass, you are granted membership. If you fail... Dorothy gives you a frown so severe you feel it singeing your eyelashes. Ogres will be unleashed on your tavern to destroy your business and life in general. Understood? Wonderful. Let us begin. She flips a page on her notepad. Question 1. Something simple to start with. A tavern is no place for rogue children. They must be ruthlessly weeded from the premises. How do you tell a dwarf and a child wearing a fake beard apart? Indeed, dwarves are quite knowledgeable on the subject, whereas the enthusiasm many children show for rocks has no educational basis. Ignorant bunch, children. She marks your answer and flips to the next page. Moving on. Question 2. Which of the following services is not guild-approved? Child catapulting, distribution of shrinking potions, or basilisk stabling? Quite so. Not only is it hard to hire help when word gets out that employees keep turning to stone, but carting them away afterward is an incredible hassle. She makes a tick on her notepad. Lastly, a question of jurisprudence. In the landmark case of Thorvak versus the Foggy Sailor, was the judge correct in voiding the plaintiff's privilege to adjudicate beverage consumption and declaring all patrons free to spend their coin as they see fit in recreational businesses? Well said. By the book. And of course, the Guild Council certainly agrees, as their recorded statement shows. She slashes her quill across the sheet of paper. She jots down some numbers, then tears out the page, folds it crisply, and places it in an envelope. That concludes the exam portion of your application. She lights a candle and heats a blob of sealing wax, drips it onto the flap of the envelope, and presses it with her signet ring to emboss the guild sigil. You passed. You are a fully licensed member of the Tavern Keepers Guild. You're welcome to continue operating in this location, but I believe you are outgrowing your accommodations here. She turns to leave. Keep an eye on your mail. The Guild will be in touch about your next opportunity, potentially in another region entirely. Good luck, Tavern Keeper.